Hello, Internet, and welcome to the Engadget podcast. I'm your host, Terrence O'Brien. I am back from vacation and feeling pretty good. To my right, one of the lovely people who stepped in for me last week, senior editor Devindra Hardawar.
Hello.
Thanks for doing that, buddy.
No problem. I'm getting a little scared here.
Yeah? Over on the left, another person who stepped in for me, managing editor Dana Wollman.
Oh, hello.
How are you doing?
I am doing great. Congrats on your race.
Oh, thank you. Yes, for those who don't know, I ran my first marathon last week.
He had a good
Nice.
excuse for not being here.
It's pretty good. And directly next to me, the clearly very uncomfortable CHERLYNN Lowe, reviews editor.
I'm not glad you're back.
I can tell that.
And she did not fill in for anybody.
I did not help out at all.
Nope.
It was
No.
great.
So, but
Terrence is smiling, everybody, and
very creepy.
That's first warning.
yeah,
He's smiling with his mouth, but not his eyes.
yeah.
He does not look like a man who's happy to be back from
Yes.
vacation.
Well, CHERLYNN, because you weren't on the show last week, though, that means you get off scot-free here.
I was on the show.
Were you?
I think you need to get your mind checked a
So
little
you
bit.
were saying you weren't stepping in for anything.
I just
and
did my
No,
own
she
job.
just sat there.
I to be fair,
Didn't contribute a thing.
And just played the role of CHERLYNN.
Yes.
Yeah.
I listened to last week's episode while passing out on a plane, to be fair, so it's kind of all a blur. But then, no, I do have to murder you as well.
Oh.
Because I didn't help.
I remember.
There was far too many Uncle Terrys to launch last week's episode.
I said none of them, though. It was these two. And Nate.
And Nate.
And
You
Nate.
should go for Nate. Anyway.
Nathan,
I
Ingram,
mean-
I
I'm
said,
coming
you know,
for you.
I did not use the
Coming.
line "Tits McGee is on vacation,"
Yeah, we-
so that you really should be thanking me. Actually,
we were like, you should.
Thank you, Dana.
yeah.
See, calling Terrence Uncle Terry is like calling Donald Trump Donald.
Yeah.
I guess, like, just the seething hatred that
Just
we're seeing now. It's going to be a
twitching.
fun episode.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to be back. I am actually kind of happy to be back. As much as work is work, it's good to be back in New York and back on the East Coast where people are somewhat normal.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, West Coast. I can't deal with you guys. You're way too laid back for me.
Too laid back. I don't know.
Yeah. So let's do one of my favorite things. Argue about stuff. It
Okay.
is time for Flame Wars as we start every week. Devindra and Dana, you know the rules. You get 20 seconds to make your opening statement, at which point you
He's
get
good.
one of
I've never
these.
faced off against that guy.
Yeah, my favorite thing. And then at the end, CHERLYNN, you are going to declare a winner based
I
on
hold
the
the
strength of
power.
the argument. Yes.
And I can get back at Dana now. Also Devindra, because I don't like that guy.
Are you just going to declare that everybody is a loser?
Everybody is a loser, let's be real.
CHERLYNN is secretly a Trump supporter, so everyone's just sad. According to Shirley.
People are gonna come after me. No, I'm not. No. Anyway.
So let's start with Elon Musk and SpaceX.
SpaceX.
That
sounds
I have
good.
not have enough coffee.
I don't
so
think
far
you're
this
back.
morning.
That's a good
In
name
New
for a
York.
company. Like, you're not going to space.
Space-esque.
Space-esque.
Yeah, space-esque.
Okay.
It's pretty good. We are going to start with Dana, who is apparently super excited to go to Mars.
I'm not super excited, but as long as Elon Musk's ideas about Mars colonization are hypothetical, I don't really see how upset you can get. His ideas are optimistic and well-intentioned, and his company, SpaceX, is privately funded and is not dependent on poor, individual stockholders. It's not accepting government money. So as long as it's privately funded and this is all hypothetical, why not praise him for being optimistic?
That's pretty good. I appreciate
pretty
that.
tight.
Yeah. Devindra, your rebuttal?
Yeah, I mean, I could see where you're coming from, Dana, but this also all seems incredibly pie in the sky. Like, they showed off a fancy video showing off, like, how this new space shuttle will take people to Mars. It all looks really fancy, but I don't understand if they can actually make it happen.
As always, you are way under budget on your time.
Aha!
Ruin my fun and don't let me hit the buzzer. Dana, do you have a rebuttal?
Well, what is the question we're debating? Is it... Yeah, what's the question we're
It's like,
debating?
is he like, I guess the question is, like, what's up with his decision to go to Mars, right? Is it feasible? Is it just like bluster? Because that's also something Musk has been criticized for in the past. The only thing is, like, he's consistently proven his critics wrong too. Like, he made the Tesla happen. The reusable rockets from SpaceX are a thing. They've been, helping send cargo up to the Space Center. So, like,
Well,
he's
it
worked,
could be
yeah.
bluster. I'm not
Yeah.
even arguing with you on that. But if as long as he's right now tooling around with his own company and resources, a company that he founded with a good chunk of his own money.
Sure.
What's wrong with that?
It's also because we know NASA hasn't had as much funding, so there's a danger if we offload some of this, some of the work that NASA would have been doing to another company, and if that doesn't work out, that's something potentially lost too, right? So I just want to make sure, like, before we really get started here, we know what's going on. Yeah.
So one quick question, though. His plans, do they involve a return from Mars?
No. Well,
We don't know yet.
his line, I think, was "You better be prepared to die" or something like that. For among the
Also,
first
cancer
colonists.
schmancer.
Cancer schmancer.
Radiation schmadiation.
Yeah, traveling through space,
Yeah.
you're open to all sorts of cancer risks.
Space flames. I
Wait,
think.
so
The rockets will come back technically in his idea, but not the humans. Like, you're going there to colonize, it seems.
did he? Yeah. So you were saying, right? You're going there to colonize. Did he say what was the main point? If you're going there and then screw
Yeah.
cancer, what was the other?
A sense of adventure. Like, he's basically saying, like, we will have to move off this planet at some point. So
Eventually.
he just wants to get things started. It's just funny because I was watching the fancy promo video they made, and it looks all nice. And then the door opens to Mars, and it's like, guys, this is a hellscape. Why? What are we doing here? This seems like something you want to set up with scientists and people to, like, set up, like, I don't know, living environments before you start sending normal people over there.
Okay.
All right. CHERLYNN.
I think it's a ridiculous idea, but I think Dana made a stronger argument.
Woohoo.
And based on the strength of the argument, I'm going to give it to her.
Okay.
Also, I don't like Devindra.
So
Yeah,
you think
bias.
you
So
think a
biased.
one-way trip to Mars is a pretty great
CHERLYNN, you look very nice today.
Oh, wow. Look at that. I'm going to give
I
her
have some
all the
candidates
points
for a one-way
now.
trip to Mars.
I think we all
You?
have at least one candidate for a one-way trip to Mars. CHERLYNN.
CHERLYNN.
All right.
Yes.
Dana, you get all the points today. I'm just saying in advance,
Okay.
right? Okay, cool.
Let's move on to our second topic. Let's talk about the new Roku players. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not 100% up on these things. This is one that
You're forgiven. Yeah.
I went, Roku has a new thing,
Yeah.
and kind of shrugged my shoulders.
every year.
So, Devindra, why don't you tell me why these new Roku players are not a complete waste of money?
Well, first of all, they're going really cheap. So Roku, for the first time, has a $30 player. That's a great deal. Anybody can put on their other TVs, and they've also driven down the cost of 4K and HDR entry to $100 with their new Premiere Plus player. So basically, new features at a cheaper price.
No fun.
I don't like
What was the time there?
You had 4 seconds left.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I'm super convinced you're like sitting down and scripting these. I'm gonna catch you one day. Dana, your rebuttal.
All right. So either my sense of time is fucked, or Roku just announces products way too frequently. I read this about Roku's new players, and I think, wait, didn't they just announce?
They
new
had a
players?
new thing.
And when I
Yeah.
say just announced, I don't know if I mean weeks or months or a year ago, because
Yeah.
again, my sense of time is
Like 6 months ago, they
speeding
announced
up.
the stick. Yeah.
Yeah.
How is that? No. How can that be 20 seconds gone already?
Devindra crams an incredible amount of information into 10 seconds. I'm like,
Speaking
talking
as thoughtfully
points,
as me
guys.
means slowing down.
yeah.
I guess. But like I was
It's black magic, CHERLYNN.
that's way too soon. Like I don't think you're being fair. Is what I'm saying.
You can watch the timer. You're sitting right
Sure.
next to me.
I may have talked over you, Dana, so sorry if I interrupted your time.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you, Dana, a little bit, I gotta say. I do kind of feel like Roku is constantly announcing things. Didn't they just announce something like
6 months ago, they announced a streaming stick, but it's not often. Like, they have a player refresh once a year, and then they have new things.
Everything
It's
else.
been a year already.
Yeah.
Has it?
Yeah.
But everything else you've heard are
I know
the
because
leaks.
I've had to
It's just
review the
leaks.
last one, so
Yeah.
yeah. It's
So-
annual upgrade time, guys.
Right. What I'm saying is admittedly subjective, which is that it feels like Roku announces a lot of products often, and that the updates tend to be fairly incremental and not
Yeah.
groundbreaking. Which means that if you happen to be in need of a streamer, you can probably safely buy whatever Roku happens to have and
That's
not,
really it.
not
Yeah.
wait for anything new.
You can be certain that whatever you're getting from Roku will be like the newest things towards the end of the year, and it's a little cheaper, a little more capable than last year. I would like a big change at some point, but for now, this is good.
I think we can at least agree that Roku makes great stuff.
Yes.
I own a Roku stick myself.
Yeah.
It's definitely not a new model, and I'm still happy with it.
Oh man,
Yeah, I have the
you could
original.
upgrade.
I have the original Roku
You guys,
stick. It's working fine.
That thing is a
It's
nightmare.
slow, but I can handle
It's
it.
so slow. The new one, which I reviewed a couple months ago, it's just fast. It feels as fast as the set-top boxes. So, and that makes a big difference when you're scrolling through menus and stuff. They need to change their software. That's the one thing Roku
Yeah.
really needs to upgrade.
I mean, I guess part of the reason I'm still okay with the Roku stick is I personally don't use it because I also have a Chromecast, and it's a lot easier to just send stuff from my phone.
I use my Chromecast all the time. Anyway, Devindra, I was curious, does the $30 option also support 4K and HDR? No,
No,
right?
no. I mean, that's for people with older TVs. Honestly, if you have a TV below 50 inches, you don't need a 4K streaming
Yeah,
box.
exactly.
Like, you'll only notice it above 50 inches.
And so the $30 one, is it like as fast as the newest Roku's?
It seemed, I mean, I didn't get to see too much of it in action, but it seems faster than the original streaming stick and enough for like secondary, third TVs, things like that. Something you can buy for your parents or anybody who doesn't have streaming yet.
So, Devindra had my attention the second he said $30.
There you go.
Fair enough.
That is a
I
pretty
was
good
like,
argument,
all right.
to be fair.
Yeah, I'm a cheapo. I can't help it.
$30.
It's hard to argue with. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I think the Chromecast is
It's so well.
appealing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an impulse purchase at
Yeah.
that point. You just go, sure, why
It's
not?
a great
have a couple
stocking
of them.
stuffer.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
I think actually I had 3 Chromecasts at some point and went, how did I end up with 3? And gave one to somebody. I was like, here, take this.
There you go.
There you go.
Our last topic is Yahoo's hack. So before we debate this, though, because I think this is a little bit of a complicated story, Devindra, can you give us a quick recap of this one?
Recap. I mean, so it was revealed recently that Yahoo back in 2014 suffered a breach of information of 500 million users. And they knew about this and they didn't tell anybody for years.
That's a record-breaking hack.
That's
isn't it?
insane.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
think
the
it's a
largest on
record-breaking hack. They're blaming a state-sponsored hacker. But the crazier thing is we didn't know about this. They did, and they didn't say anything. And I mean, I also wonder what Verizon's going to say about this because they just bought Yahoo, and that
they're
was
in the
not part of the
process
deal.
of-
Yeah, they're
Which,
in the process.
to our listeners out there, we really don't know. No
We
one
don't know
knows
what's going
We
on.
don't know.
from
We're-
upstairs.
We're
no one
very
tells
much
us
in the
anything.
dark on this stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean, that's sort of a quick recap. Dana, I will let you open the arguments. You are
Can we
going...
make the usual disclaimer now that this is an intellectual exercise?
Yes. and we've said this multiple times, and I will say it again. Flame Wars is always an intellectual exercise and not
Devindra and I had to
necessarily-
draw straws on
Yeah,
this one.
may not have to reflect how we really think.
Yeah, no. There's actually usually an argument ahead of the episode about
Yes.
who gets stuck with the shitty point of view to have to argue.
It's usually me, but I'm glad it's someone else.
Today
this
it's
time.
me.
You actually often volunteer for it, which I appreciate.
Yeah,
She
I
is the
just-
contrarian editor.
Yeah.
so.
She's like, I'm going to argue in favor of
That's wildly unpopular.
Dead or alive.
Yeah.
VR.
Yeah.
Yes, that was fun.
Dana, you have your 20 seconds to come to Yahoo's defense.
I'm not even going to try and come to their defense. The only thing nice that I can say about them is that there is some evidence that they have learned their lesson. For instance, their investment in security-related stuff jumped 60% between 2015 and 16, and also surely Yahoo will be run somewhat differently under Verizon without Marissa Mayer in charge.
Under time. Nice.
Good job.
Devindra, your rebuttal.
The con is this is insane. This is a huge hack, and no legitimate company would allow something like this to happen without saying anything. So yeah, even though they're investing more in security, doesn't excuse the fact that they didn't tell anybody and have done a bad job of even doing basic security measures to fix it.
So
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I have one question, I guess, before I'll throw this to you, CHERLYNN, which is, did they have any excuse for not talking about this before? Like, did they have a reason why they kept this hack secret?
No,
for so
they're-
long?
I haven't seen the good one yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm using. I'm arguing against myself. Now.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
I haven't seen a good reason.
No, their
legit reason.
reported reasoning actually makes the whole thing worse
Yeah.
because it seems like their priorities were in the wrong
Yep.
wrong place. They were concerned about users jumping ship if they were forced to do something quote unquote inconvenient, like reset their passwords.
Yeah, a simple
which
thing
is
they could have done is like
so
reset.
not the point.
everybody's passwords
And they
en
took
masse.
until 2016 to do that, right? Like they only did that recently to ask people to
Recently,
change their
yeah.
passwords.
Yeah, I got that notification the other day.
You still use Yahoo Mail?
To be clear, I'm very glad that literally
Yeah.
the only thing I use Yahoo for is fantasy baseball.
Okay.
So the only thing anybody was going to do is mess with my lineup, and I already lost the playoffs.
That's legit.
So,
Yeah.
by the
But
way,
yeah.
screw you, Sean.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, Sean.
All right.
My cousin, he beat me. He literally doesn't care about baseball at all. He just joined the league for fun, and he kicked my ass.
Aw.
So I'm not clear on the whole Marissa Mayer thing, and I'm not sure if it's completely necessary to delve into this. Is she going to? I don't know that she's definitely going to not.
We haven't
come
heard
over.
anything yet.
I
would
mean,
assume
last
some-
that either company has said publicly is that she will stay on at least through the transition. But if either company has changed their plans, we wouldn't know. No,
Yeah, we wouldn't know either.
Seriously, no one fills us in on this. We find out when the rest of the world does.
The thing, and I think the only reason people aren't as freaked out about this as much is that nobody really cares about their Yahoo accounts. That's like the
Exactly.
ultimate thing. Like if this was Google, if this was even Microsoft,
Yeah.
like this would be an end of the world situation. But Yahoo is in such a state of like, who cares?
Yeah.
Hundreds of millions of accounts could be compromised, and everyone's like, meh. It's not a big deal, I guess.
So-
It's still insane.
Okay.
I don't feel bad for Marissa Mayer, but I wonder what her legacy is because she put so much time and resources into product at Yahoo. Products that do people use them, and will they use them now that they don't believe they're secure?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm going to say that Dana had the better argument because it was backed by facts.
CHERLYNN.
You don't have to do me any
Sure.
favors.
No, for real.
What do you mean
'Cause it's
facts,
first of all.
yes.
First of all, listen.
There are
it's
facts
already
right here.
difficult. It's all, I understand how
More facts against this.
I
You are
already
the arbiter, and ultimately you get to decide. But
But first of all,
man?
yeah, men. But first of all, I know how difficult it is to take contrarian views, and I applaud the fact that she made a sound argument despite.
This is not how debates are
being
judged,
stacked against-
Shirley.
No, I'm
merits of
judging
the
based on
argument.
the merits of the argument, not the case in point, not the story in question, but the merits of how she argued.
It's like a difficult gymnast routine in the Olympics.
Versus an easy one.
I did the Prudhanova, whatchamacallit, vault routine, and
Yeah.
you did your single somersault
I guess.
thing.
It's true.
this
Yeah.
is a really weird and deep metaphor.
I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I know literally nothing about gymnastics.
Anyway, I made my call. So suck it, Devindra.
Okay.
So we have I'm sorry, we have a winner. Dana wins this week.
Listeners, feel free to write in at podcastinggadget.com.
An appeal?
And
I was gonna say
Send
just
notes
send
to
all your
CHERLYNN.
email directly
what's
to
your
CHERLYNN.
Twitter handle, Sherlyn?
At Devindra.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get good ones. So
Oh, okay.
Best part is no one's mad at me.
No.
Everyone's always mad at me. I'm used to it. It's fine.
Sherlyn just invites it.
I don't. Anyway, I hate all of you. No, I don't know.
Not me.
Not maybe.
You don't hate all of us. You It's a secret.